On the line with us is Stephen Moore, senior economic contributor with FreedomWorks. FreedomWorks.org is the website. His Twitter handle is @Stephen, that's P-H-E-N, Moore, with an E on the end, at Fox News and at FreedomWorks. Stephen, welcome back to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
It's been a while. It seems like it's been a couple of years. I have your article here, What the Pope Should Tell America. Where was that published, by the way?
That was my syndicated column, so it ran, across the country.
Okay, newspapers across America.
County Register and many others.
Sure. Okay, well, there are a couple of things here I'm kind of baffled by. You said, my critique has been over the Vatican's alliance of late with anti-Christian environmental groups on global warming. Mm-hmm. What group that's working on global warming is anti-Christian?
Well,
which group is that you're talking about?
So I've spent my career, battling some of the more radical environmental groups dating back to the 1970s, and these were groups that basically were involved in the population control movement, that basically, trying to impose policies that have been imposed around the world, the zero. The one-child policy, and in China, the kind of forced sterilization.
So the Vatican has formed an alliance with the one-child division of China.
A lot of these same groups that were involved in the population control movement are the very same groups that are involved in the global warming. And my point was, look, some of the great, human tragedies of the last 50 years have been committed by these groups that put, the earth above human life, and it's the worst thing that the Christian leader. And by the way, I'm a Catholic, so I'm a big admirer of this Pope, but I don't want to see the Catholic Church aligned with environmental groups who, as I said in my piece, tend to worship the created rather than the creator.
Yeah, that was another one of that was your fourth point. Christians must worship the creator and not the created. Why is it more important for us to worship a Bronze Age sky god rather than take care of the world around us? Well, I'll just leave it at that. Why?
No, I mean, what I'm saying is, we're not tree huggers, right? We don't think trees and animals have the same rights as human beings, and a lot of the environmentalists do. They believe that that the problem is that mankind and humans are at the top of the food chain and so on.
Well, isn't that what you're asserting? I would say that most environmentalists think that if we don't take care of the trees and the animals, we're going to have nothing left to breathe or eat.
Right. And so, but see, this was the point of my piece: is that, of course, you want a clean environment. I want a clean environment. Now, what is the best way to achieve a clean environment? I mean, this is an inarguable point that I think the Pope got wrong, which is free market capitalism is what creates the conditions that allow for the cleanup of water and the cleanup of air. And the countries that have done by far the most polluting over the last century have been the communist countries in the foreground. I mean, if you go to places like Africa, and if you go to places like India and Mexico City and try to breathe the air in those places, you will get sick. Whereas in the United States, we have, clean air. We've cleaned up our air. We've cleaned up our water. I mean, 100 years ago, people died from the drinking water.
Right, when we had free market capitalism. Now we have regulated capitalism. I mean, I've been to all those countries that you're describing. Yeah. And if the Republican agenda that you propose of government not regulating anything were to happen, we would start looking like some of those countries.
All right. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. The reason we have clean air and clean water and open space and all these things is precisely because we have a level of wealth that we can devote resources to cleaning up air and clean water.
That's not true, Stephen. It's because we regulate capitalism.
That's right, because we have regulations. But the point is, as we become a richer country and we become, have more income and more wealth, we spend more money on cleaning up the environment. My only point is that capitalism is fully consistent with a clean environment. I mean, this is something we all.
Then why do you fight it?
What?
Why do conservatives constantly? This whole thing of deregulation? The Koch brothers paper plants should be able to dump more poison into the air and water. The Koch brothers refineries should be able to put more poison in the air. I mean,
but this isn't true. I'm not in favor of.
So you're in favor of government regulation?
No. I'm against dumb government regulation. Nobody gets sick from carbon emissions. No one gets sick from that. There's no one who's ever gotten sick from carbon emissions.
Tell that to 1.5 million Syrian farmers who left their farms because they turned into deserts 6 years ago, as Syria experienced a California-style drought.
Do you really believe that by shutting down our coal plants in the United States, somehow that's going to save the
I think if we had done it back in 1972, when ExxonMobil's scientists told ExxonMobil we have a 10-year window to prevent Syria's global climate change, I think so.
Yeah, well, except the United States, even if we shut down every coal plant and every energy plant in the United States, it would have zero impact on, even if you believe in man-made climate change, which I don't, but even if you do, the United States, we could shut down every coal plant, every electricity plant in the United States, and it would have zero impact on global climate change because China and India and Mexico are building...
China just started a cap-and-trade program.
Pardon?
China just, President Xi was here in the United States day before yesterday, and he announced a cap-and-trade program.
Yeah, there's the thing about China, and this is important.
This was George Herbert Walker Bush's idea, by the way.
You have to watch what they do, not what they say. China, every time that the Chinese leaders meet with President Biden, we're gonna have cap and trade, we're gonna reduce our carbon emissions. You do it too. China's building coal-fired plants. Every week.
But they also, China in the last 12 months, or in the last year, 2014, installed more gigawatts, more megawatts of solar power than the United States has in the past decade. I mean, look at what they're doing. They are going for solar as fast as they can. They're cleaning up their mess. They're starting to regulate their capitalists.
They're turning away from solar and wind, and the reason they are is because they're discovering it's way, way more expensive than coal. China and India alone will add more coal to their energy use than just the addition of their use in the next 20 years will be more than all of the coal that the U.S. burns.
Then maybe we should stop selling federal lands to coal companies for $1 an acre so they could pull out, $1 million worth of coal an acre and ship it to China.
Well, you know what? You mean here in the United States?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Mining Act of 1872. It has devastated this country. You talk about free market.
I thought you care. Every time we've had these conversations, you tell me how much you care about working people. I live near a coal town that's been decimated by these regulations.
Well, let's build a solar factory there.
A solar factory? Do you really think we're going to power our $18 trillion economy with windmills and solar power?
I do. I was in Germany 3 weeks ago. It's amazing what that country has done. They got more than half of their electricity this summer on some days just from solar.
Yeah, and you know what? And they are losing production. They're losing manufacturing jobs. A lot of manufacturing firms from Germany are leaving.
Germany has one of the strongest economies in the world, Stephen, and you know that.
What even the economic minister just said just a few months ago, that we are deindustrializing Germany, and we can't compete with these high energy costs. Most of the world is turning away from green energy, not turning towards it.
I respectfully disagree, but whether you're right or I'm right, shouldn't we be turning toward clean energy and away from 19th century fuels? I realize they make billions of dollars for billionaires like the Koch brothers who inherited an oil company from daddy, but why would and how can you not believe the consensus of 100% of the non-oil fossil fuel funded scientists in the world?
100%, right?
100%.
100% of your friends believe in global warming, and none of the scientists I know believe in global warming.
Did you know that the Republican Party in the United States is the only political party in the world that denies global warming?
Yeah, right.
No, it's true.
That explains why their models have been wrong now for the last 15 years, why the Earth has actually been cooling.
They've been too conservative.
What?
They've been too conservative. The world's heating warmer than the IPCC has said at every stage.
Actually, the Earth has cooled over the last 10 years.
Oh,
and that's something that none of the models predicted.
Stephen, I beg you to stop embarrassing yourself and check your facts.
I can't believe you don't know this.
Stephen Moore, senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, freedomworks.org. Stephen, it's always nice talking with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.